Hello, good morning and welcome. It's Saturday, it's the 22nd of July, and we'll start as ever Australian dollar. The commercials have added a whopping, that's about 19,700 extra positions short the Australian dollar. So that is about as extreme as they have been over the last 18 months. So we are expecting the Australian dollar to short from where it is now. Just pop and have a quick look at the chart. It started coming down Friday. I've got a little trade in close to the top. The short ratio, I'm calling it ratio now, not divergence, because it is actually a ratio between the longs and the shorts for the commercials. The short ratio is 6.6 to 1, which is an extreme. There's only the New Zealand dollar that's got a larger extreme. So that's looking really good to short down, back down through. I really didn't see it at 80. I was surprised how high it actually got. But I've got my position in. I'm sticking with that. So we'll wait for that to short down. British pound. The commercials are as bearish as they have been for the last 2 years. So this is a bearish position they're taking. The divergence between the two is very, very small. It's not one of my favorite trades. Got a ratio of 1.14 to 1, shorts against long. Basically, I am expecting it to come down, and actually buying it back up, I think, is a better trade. So I'm really going to be out of this one at the moment. That's the way I feel about it. Canadian dollar. We have gone as bearish as we have been for a long time on the Canadian dollar. There might just be a little more downside in it, but we are expecting this to move back short the dollar, Canadian dollar, long the USD Canadian dollar. So if we go over to the charts, wrong chart. There we go. We've had this massive fall down here. I'm waiting for the RSI to cut the trend line here, and I've got another trend line on the candle chart. This really, to my mind, should be bottoming out now, but I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. Might just see a little bit more downside to it, so we'll watch it and see what happens. But until we actually get a move through the trend line or through the trend line by the candles, basically I'm out of that. The euro. Massive divergence we have between the commercials down here, who are at the most bearish they have been for a long time, and the speculators who are actually long the euro. So we've seen a massive move up. It looks like it's topping out against certain currencies like the euro, USD. It's got up to 116, nearly 117. I just can't see it going up much more. We've got a ratio of 1.8 to 1 short the euro. I haven't got much money on this. These are just basically penny trades. I'm waiting for it to break the trend line on the RSI and show a move down. So I'll be selling that back through, but there is massive downside on this. That's what I'm looking for. Japanese yen. Again, the commercials and the speculators are in very high divergence. We are long the Japanese yen, short the USD Japanese yen. So just have a quick look at the chart. The short ratio is 4.6 to 1. Yes, that's right. Just checking. We've had 13, nearly 14,000 long positions added, and we've lost some of the shorts. So we've had quite a good turn down. It's got a lot further to run. The commercials have added heavily. This is going to run on through. We're well below the 50 on the RSI, heading steeply down towards the 30.9. So let's get in there, and I think that's going to be a really good short. The Swiss franc. The Swiss franc, the commercials are more or less as bearish as they have been for a long time. There is very little ratio on this. I'm uncertain with it, so basically I'm keeping out. But USD Swiss franc. This is outside the lower Bollinger Band. We're below the 30.9. If you wanted to trade it, I would wait for it to break the RSI to break the trend line when it's coming back up. But the Swiss franc is a safe haven currency. If the French stock market broke, it could benefit greatly from safe haven flows. So it isn't one I'd want to trade at the moment, but just be careful. Mexican peso. We've got really high divergence again. The commercials are really way negative of the Mexican peso. We've seen a little bit of a long candle on Friday. The speculators are right the other way. This is the sort of setup that we like for a currency to move in a certain direction. And if you look on the chart, you've got a bit of a long candle there. It definitely does look like we've bottomed out at the 1750 mark. And I'm expecting a good long move on this, and should be quite profitable. New Zealand dollar. Again, massive divergence between the speculators and the commercials. So if we go and just have a quick look at the chart, we had a large candle up on Friday. This, as far as I'm concerned, is a very good entry position. It's got a short ratio of 7.3 to 1, which is massive. We've had 5,000 extra shorts put in last Tuesday. It's gone further up, so where are we? That's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So this is Tuesday's candle, and it's got even further up. So would have expected that to have increased even more. So this should be a really good short back down. So have to keep an eye on that. Energies, crude oil. The commercials have gone a little bit more negative. And we have seen a fall in we've seen the candle come down on Friday. So we have got a red candle on the crude oil. But I think this has got a long way to go down. For about 7 or 8 times now, we've had OPEC saying that they're going to cut the amount of oil they're pumping, and basically they just carry on pumping it. You know, eventually people have just got to get to realize that you just can't believe anything they say. So it should have a lesser effect, but it doesn't. So that's what drove it up last time, and it's just got to come back down again. Silver. We're a little bit more bullish on the price of silver, and silver has gone up the last couple of days. So I don't think he's got much further to run, and then I'll be looking for it to come back down. It was at resistance for the last 2 or 3 days, and I was surprised to see it actually went up, but that's the way it went. And I think from where it is at the moment, it is quite a good sell, but I'd only put a small position on it until we confirm the downtrend. S&P 500, anytime today. Yeah, we're still fairly bearish. We've had some good candles up over the last few days, and we're still fairly bearish. So we'll see what happens next week. Wouldn't rush in with this. It's actually made fresh highs. I cannot believe who is buying this at this level, but you know, there you go. Some pension funds being talked into it. So anyway, that's it for this week. So thank you very much for watching. I will come back tomorrow and I will review the two top pairs on a divergence. So these will be crosses, as we've got the best divergence on the commitment of traders. Okay, thank you. Cheers now.